What's good, y'all? This is C Certified Brewhead, and welcome back to another video here on BAOS. Today, we're going to be talking about Pinter. So this is for people who like to brew at home, but don't really want to deal with the whole headache of home brewing. It's something that I've done many times. If you're OGs to BAOS, you would have seen our old home brewing content when Scott and I were doing all the all grain brews, mate. Like, it was fun. Not for me. Way too much work, too messy, just not for me. But if you still want affordable beer and you want to be able to have a little bit more fun and do something to get that end result, then this device is for you. So this was my first time using the Pinter. So I actually have the final beer right here. I guess I might as well talk about that first. So what they did is license a beer from a brewery called Yeastie Boys, which I believe is from the UK. And this is a Big Mouth Session IPA that I had in Australia, according to Untapped, in 2018. So this would be the first proper sip of this beer. So first of all, cheers, y'all. Really bright tropical nose. Money. It's like a session IPA, Westy style, like I'm American, but very juicy, very citrusy, tons of mango, passion fruit, pineapple vibes, nice grassy, piney bitterness in there. Super balanced, really smooth, has an amazing head. It kind of dissipated a bit now, but the head that comes out of the thing is crazy. So let me give you a quick breakdown on how it works. Unboxing it, the way that the Pinter is presented is like one of those sort of, real hipster cool products. Like, one thing that Tiff and I love is Our Place with those, the pans. It kind of reminds me of that. So the presentation off the rip, A1. Love that, love the unboxing process. It was just super fun. The next step, once you've got this bad boy up, is just to clean it. So it's basically ready to go. So you just need to sanitize it. So when you have the packs, you actually have the packs that have a liquid malt, which is similar to like a homebrew kit. If you guys ever did the pre-all grain homebrew, I think it was called Brewer's Best from memory. You get the liquid malt. So it has a liquid malt, it has the yeast, it has a hopping little thing, which we can talk about in a sec if the beer requires it, and it has a sanitizer, a powder sanitizer. So really all you do, pour the powdered sanitizer into this bad boy, put some water in, shake it around like a psycho, good workout, and then boom, she's all set. So that was a really easy process as far as cleaning. Now, before I actually even get to that, there's an app, the Pinter app. So you download the app. Now, they are primarily from the UK, hence the Yeastie Boys, that would make sense. They've entered the US market and they're working on the Canadian market. So currently, as of filming, I wasn't able to download the app for myself, but I just Googled it and there was a very easy to follow series of videos that made it super simple, and I was able to do that. And I imagine that's exactly what's in the app anyway. So it doesn't really matter. It probably will be a bit easier because you do get notifications about when you have to do things, which I'll get to in a sec. So once you have sanitized it, you're brewing. Well, brewing is, it's interesting because you don't boil anything. Even with the Brewer's Best kits, you still had to boil stuff. So sanitized, this thing goes on its bum here on the end. You fill it up with water to a line, and then you add the liquid malt and the yeast, and then you shake it up. That's really all there is to it. Now, I followed the instructions to a T because I did not want to mess with the process, particularly as this is my first time using Pinter. It said just to use tap water. Now, where I am in Hamilton, Ontario, the tap water is very, it smells like chlorine. Like if you smell my Brita, the water filter thing, it just stinks like chlorine. So I didn't pre-purchase, I didn't think about it, so I didn't purchase mineral spring water, which is what Scott and I used to use for our homebrew. Now, next time I have a second pack, I have a stout, I'm gonna purchase the mineral water, the spring water, and see if that makes a difference. I have learned here on BOS, talking to incredibly intelligent brewers, that water is everything, and I didn't mess with that, so that would probably be the one thing I would do differently. Aside from that, I'm sure if you've got good tap water and it tastes fine, then it's fine. Once you've added the water, and the line's very obvious in there, it's a little dark, but you can see the line, it's very clear. It looks like the Hoover Dam a bit. The liquid malt and the yeast, and you just sort of shake it up. So it is 5 liters and makes 10 pints. So shaking it side by side is a real core workout, which I imagine if you're a beer drinker, you could probably do with that. And then it's kind of it. You pop it on the brewing dock, it's called. You chuck that in, and then you let it brew. This particular beer, so the Yeastie Boys Big Mouth, is a session IPA, and it was recommended for a minimum of 6 days brewing. I did 7, like Sunday to Sunday. You just leave it in the corner complete room temperature, she's good to go. Then it needs conditioning, and that's when it needs to be cold. So it said minimum, I think 3 days conditioning. I did Monday to Saturday. Today is Saturday. So it's at 6 days of conditioning. So a little bit over. I wanted to do a little over. I was a bit worried about the tap water side of things. So the more time I get to brewing condition, the better. So you need, when you condition, you got to put it in the fridge. It needs to be between 2 and 4 degrees Celsius for that time. My particular issue in this house, I couldn't really figure out, or I didn't try hard enough to figure out how to remove the shelves from the fridge. It's like a complicated system. Every other fridge I've ever used, you just pull it out. This house did not have that. So fortunately, it's March here in Canada and it's a mild winter. So I put it in my garage. So it would have been a fluctuating temperature range, but I think it would have been okay even when it was minus. I think the garage would have protected it a bit from that. So not optimal, but it did the trick, and I had it outside, and this is ice cold. Like, this is money. This is so good. So once it's conditioned, you just pour it and try it. So if you are not happy with how it tastes, you can let it condition some more. I don't really remember, because it was 6 years ago when I had the original beer. So I don't specifically remember exactly how it's supposed to taste, but this tastes what I would imagine it's supposed to taste like. As far as hitting all the flavor notes, super crushable, great body, wicked head. The head is exceptional. It's everything you kind of want it to be. And I guess that's really it. That's how simple this is. And you're probably able to tweak it. For example, like the water profile type of thing. I don't know if you could or should put like those camphor tablets or any other things like that. Probably message them before doing that. Just, you don't want to mess up the machine. But there might even be some other things that you could do that, because I'm not a super experienced home brewer or anything, I don't have any real particular thoughts, but I'm sure out there, if you leave a comment below, if you guys can think of something that you would change or tweak with any of the recipes. And that's kind of it, man. And the other thing I really like about it, it's attractive. It's got that, the tap is like a exclamation mark here. It's like it looks like an English cask, which is really pretty, and it's a really nice machine. It's really well made. Comes in a variety of colors. I end up with the black one because that's how we get all our stuff black. But I think they had red and some other colors, maybe a white one or something. I'm really impressed with it, and I think I've used a couple of these, if I'm honest, and this is probably the simplest, most straightforward one. It doesn't even have like a digital screen or anything like that. It's really simple, and I like that about it. And I feel like it would appeal to the person who wants to, maybe, like I said earlier, wants to do something themselves, but maybe either doesn't have the time, space, money to really invest in home brewing, whether it's all grain or even those just little kits. So this is like a simpler way to kind of get that same experience and result whilst doing something a lot more affordable and simple, and it should fit in everyone's fridge, and it's super easy. It's a really cool experience. So hit the link in our description, and Pinter have given you a $30 discount, which is pretty sweet. These things are all very affordable anyway, but $30 definitely could go a long way towards making this that more affordable. So this has been really cool. I'm gonna go enjoy myself a few pints. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, smash the thumbs up, hit subscribe below, hit that notification bell so you know when the new drops. Follow us everywhere at BAOS Podcast. Check out the audio, check out the podcast. We now have video podcasts on Spotify, which is fun. I'm gonna work my way through slowly, just to upload as many as I can, not everyone, but as many as I can, which is super fun. Lots coming on the channel, guys. Appreciate your support. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.